All right, let's see what's going on, man. This thing's having technical difficulties, but we see what's going on. Yola, you can hear me, and is everything okay? I'm ready to set it off. Just waiting. Also waiting for the guests. Y'all can hear me clear. Make sure that everything's good. I don't even know why the other guys in the corner. I'm just waiting for the guests. Now that I'm live, hopefully, um, it'll come through as well. But just give me a second, y'all. Bear with me. Hopefully, I got y'all at this time of the evening to have a special guest come join me. As long as everything is going all right, it's always some technical difficulty, but it'll be if it won't like this, then it wouldn't be real. But hopefully, once the guests come, all you have to do is hit that link, bro. Because he was asking me to do something that I ain't do before. It's always something. But hey, if it don't go that way, it wouldn't be T history. But thanks for the people that pulled up. And like I said, we had a guest come through. Hopefully, he could get through it too because I asked him to do something he wasn't used to doing himself. But hopefully he can have somebody come through. Um, I wish I was on seeing the show face. I will do it from. That's why they got me in the corner here. I don't know what that's about. But yeah, thanks for the people that show. Some people are hopefully drop the like button and keeping it going. It's been a minute for a few of us, and like I said, I thanks for everybody to pull up, and hopefully the guests can pull up. I, um, I hope that I could like I said, it's no problem for him to find that link. Pandy, hey, what's going on? Thanks for coming through. Since been your time. Like I said, hopefully I was just waiting. I was supposed to interview somebody, a talented brother, um, that was gonna show love and take his time out to come and rock with us for a second. Let's introduce himself. I'm just waiting for him. Hold up. How's everything going? Things going with you, Pandy? Why is this thing staying here? Warren, what's the deal? Lamar, what's the deal, man? What's going on? Everybody stepping through. That's what's up. I'm just trying to get this thing right. I'm also waiting for see this guest could pull up. Oh, okay. Oh, I've been good, Penny, for the most of the time. Just been chilling. I see Lamar's in the building too. That's good. Like I said, I was supposed to having the guest come through. Hopefully, he doesn't get frustrated and pull up. I had just left a message for him to come through. Like I said, everybody be doing this thing different up here, so that's why like a lot of times it be difficult because all of us be coming to these shows differently by links and popping on the channel differently. So that's what I'm saying. I'm just hoping that the guests pull up on me. Like I said, thanks for pulling up and everybody that's in here. But that's what I was doing. I was looking for another content creator that has a dope show that has a nice history from the city to come join us and tell us about it. So, like I said, if you there trying to get through now, that the link is out there, bro. If you there, just listening, all you got to do is press the link that has the ATP stream. But Ma, I'm still here, man. I haven't been up here as much, you know what I'm saying? I just been doing like a little interview and uploading the food for the most part. I haven't been hopping on panels and I haven't been on too many channels of late. I've just been checking out mostly everybody else's stuff and doing the interviews here and there. And just staying away from, some of the toxifications that have been going around and just living life. They said hopefully everybody else is doing good and everybody got their channels that are doing good. Okay, the link is not bringing me to the StreamYard, is bringing me to YouTube. No, you're here now. It's right here, bro. All you got to do is right here. You're here. So just press this one right here. Hold up. That right there, you press that right there, it's supposed to bring you in here. The man of the hour, there you go. You can hear me, big bro?
Yeah, you good?
Okay. And now listen, I heard what you gave out great information, what you told me about the
You good?
okay.
Hold on. I got
And
this.
now listen, we on oh man, hold up.
Yeah, we good.
Okay. All right, so it's up there. You got the Real Rap Show, your channel's name, but would you let the people, you already up there globally. We got different sets of people, but would you let the people know what your name is and where you from?
I go by the name of Supreme Films. I'm from Brooklyn, New York, man. Bed-Stuy, man.
Okay, I'm not gonna just put you up there, so I called you OG. If that's respectful, would
No,
you
it's
let
all
me
good.
know? Um, would you let me know, like, growing up in your neighborhood, how was it back, say the 80s, 90s? Would you let us know, like, could you just paint a picture of like your neighborhood growing up?
Well, I kind of grew up in two different neighborhoods because I was born and raised in Brownsville, and I was in the Ville until I was about 16 before I came to Bed-Stuy. So when I was in Brownsville, um, it was kind of rough coming up because it wasn't really much to get into, besides like negative stuff around the time when I was out there. It was a lot of like stick up kids and shoplifters and drug dealers and pickpockets and you name it was out there. So I wasn't really interested in school much, unfortunately. And I got turned onto the streets, So it was a lot of peer pressure around that time, So it was kind of rough, But I could say I grew up in two different parts, but I started in Brownsville.
So would you say from both sides, either way, did it well, your environment, did it rub up off you? Was you still your own guy, or either way, did it rub off what you were seeing outside? Did it kind of rub off on you?
Yeah, it did. It did. Because like I said, there was a lot of peer pressure back then, and it was a lot going on, and it was a lot of stuff to be a part of. Back then, the Bloods and the Crips weren't around, and which made it kind of different. But it was a lot of stuff to get involved in at that time, and yeah, it rubbed off on me just off the people that I was hanging around with, the influence from the people that I hung around with, and if not them, their family members or people they was close to would come around and show different things and talk about different things, and um, he was turned on by it. So yeah, it rubbed off on me at an early age.
You don't have to go deep into it, but like, so what was the type of things you was doing, like, as saying, as a shorty, or like to start getting paper or whatever? I like to ask people, like, what was their trials and tribulations, you know, um, like, what was the type of things that you was doing as a shorty?
Um, I was a shoplifter. You know, um, I didn't see the drug game as, it just didn't look like it was fun, because I came up in the projects, Van Dyke projects to be exact, and there was a lot of drug dealers around where I was at, and I used to watch those guys every day, and they just didn't. When you hear stories about when you hear drug dealers, you can go back to the Al Porter and Rich Porter, pardon me, Al Porter and Rich Porter days, and AZ. And when you hear drug dealer, you think of nice cars, jewelry, fame, girls, all of that. But the guys that was around my way, these guys were like bums, man. Like these guys stood out there every day and sold this stuff, and I never saw them gain any attention from it. I never saw any pretty women hang around these guys. I never seen them dress up nice. They wore the same clothes pretty much every day. And I just was like, well, that doesn't look like that's too fun, to be standing out here. And then what are y'all doing with the money? So there was another group of guys that were the shoplifters, and these guys wore Ralph Lauren every day, Guess, Nordica, whatever was out at that time, um, brand new clothes. They always had nice girls with them. They was always smoking weed. They was always seemed like they was having a lot of fun, you know. And that's what I was turned on to. So yeah, I became a shoplifter at the age of 15, and stealing clothes from department stores like Macy's, Macy's A&S, Models, little mischievous stuff like that. But that's what I started out doing.
And so, was you successful at that?
Yeah, yeah. Um, in the early stages of it, I was, because I was young, and I learned the stores really fast because I had an innocent face, and a lot of the at that time, I can say a lot of the low lives in the early days of the Ralphie kids, a lot of those guys were, their faces were known in a lot of these stores because they was doing this stuff every day. And I would go with them sometimes, but when I would go by myself, I was always successful because the people in the stores didn't recognize me like they recognized all the other guys. My face eventually got known in the stores over time anyway, but in the early days of it, I was really successful at it. Um, Taking a whole bunch of stuff out of stores, coming back to the neighborhood, selling it. But then I had like a little crew of us. It wasn't just me. It was me and a bunch of other little guys that I found around my neighborhood that was into the same thing, And we also started out with a crew. The rapper Fabulous also uh, stole clothes with us too back in those days. So when I first started out, it was me and a couple of other guys from my neighborhood, and we migrated with the guys from Brevoort Projects, um, and Fabulous, who went by the name of Sport, was down with that crew, and we all was like one big crew. But it was really successful in the early days of it because we was young, and when you got caught for it, you didn't really go to jail for it, get a slap on the wrist, get let out the store, the cops don't come. So it was like, it was fun until you know your face became known. That then you started going to jail for it.
Yeah, that's interesting, bro. I'm not from the city. I'm from Boston. And like I said, it's a few people. You got people from the West Coast and people that's out the country, and I respect you for it. But you kind of gloss over some because you got a click name. You can kind of touch on that the Ralphie kids in the low. The whole thing. You talk about it a little bit. That y'all got a name for yourselves from what y'all was doing, and like I said, I didn't know until recently, so let it be known with that y'all y'all was known for what you did.
Um, well, yeah. When I first started out doing it, I wasn't with a crew. I knew about the Ralphie kids because just to give you guys a little history about that, back in the early 90s, graffiti was still a thing to do. A lot of guys were into graffiti. If you was a shoplifter or a low life, your main thing wasn't graffiti, but you would write your name wherever you went, so and so, and you would put low at the end. So all over the projects, you would see these names on the wall with low at the end. And I didn't know who these guys was. I just was like, I want to be a part of that shit. I don't know who to get in touch with. And I told another YouTuber this story the other night. Um, when I first started, um, I started out as a graffiti writer, and my name was Dre Low. And before I was even notarized by the real Ralphie kids and low lives, well, I wouldn't even say the low lives because that's before my time. Before I got notarized by the Ralphie kids, I would go around the neighborhoods and just write my name all over the fucking neighborhood. And I said, eventually they're gonna go, who is this? Who is this dude? Because we don't know who he is. And that's what happened. So when they finally approached me and was like, yo, who are you? I had my chest poked out because I wanted to be down with it and I wasn't afraid to go and do anything. So, you know, they started taking me with them. And I got my weight up and I got my stripes up early, because I was doing a lot of shit, you know what I mean? So um the Ralphie kids, to give you guys a little history on that, I know it's a different time today, and a lot of people of this generation is not familiar with who the Low Lives was. Um, so I'll briefly break it down to you before I give you the description of what the Ralphie kids became. The Low Lives was a group of shoplifters in the early 80s going into the 90s who stole Ralph Lauren from department stores. All well, they stole other stuff too, but mostly all Ralph Lauren, and that's all they wore. And it became really trendy and popular back in the days. And not just anybody could get down with them. You had to have heart. You had to be a known person in the neighborhood. And when that kind of faded out, or didn't really, when it was beginning to fade out, because a lot of the low lives started to go to jail. A lot of dudes had gotten a little up in age, and it started to fade out. But then I can't really say what year. If I think I'm correct when I say like about 1991 or 92 was when a younger group of guys that were 13, 14 years old, who could have been family members of these older guys, and they pretty much carried on the tradition and started going out doing the same thing. But they were younger than the lowlives. So they called themselves the Ralphie kids. You understand? Because they were like 13, 14 years old, 15 years old. They still kids. And they were so young looking, so they called themselves the Ralphie kids. And it became really popular and trendy like the low lives did. And that's the group of um guys I got involved with, because I didn't get in the game until about 93, 94. So um yeah. So we pretty much at that time Ralph Lauren had stopped making all of the big logo teddy bears and the flags because the lowlives had stole so much of it out of the department stores. He lost so much money off making all of that big logo stuff. He said, I guess they said, we're going to stop making it. And we'll just start making little horses and just little regular stuff because it's drawing all of these crowds of African American kids in the stores stealing it. So in about 94ish, 95, Ralph Lauren kind of stopped making the big logo stuff. And the Ralphie kids pretty much was like a hybrid of the low lives, but we didn't cater to just Ralph Lauren because Ralph
Right.
Lauren wasn't.
Brink, could I ask you this though?
Yeah.
So did you say that? Not. Did you ever like? Because you said that y'all got back. Did they make a big deal out of y'all guys at any point? Was y'all in the papers, or did they make an example out of any of y'all, or put y'all in the papers behind it, or did Polo put up a mess or anything behind y'all guys?
Well, they did about the low lives. The low lives made the newspapers numerous times because there were slashings where guys was cutting the security guards. There were incidents where dudes were beating up the security guards. There were incidents where dudes would go into the store and one of the guys would have a gun on him. And when the security tried to stop them, someone would pull a gun out. So it made the low lives made the newspapers numerous times for what they was doing. But as far as the younger version, what we became, um, we weren't that we weren't what the low lives was. It was more like cat and mouse with the Ralphie kids because we were young and we weren't in the stores cutting and fighting. You know,
Right.
when they called us for it, we would do time for it or whatever, but we never got violent with it, you know.
Right, because I was gonna ask because one of the questions is like two things like originators and like not to say you're right there that you're a part of that. So I was gonna say like out here we call it like snatch and grab, and that's what I was gonna say because you would say more like snatch and grab, and that's how you feel like y'all not to say more smooth, but y'all was more like you feel like yourself like you was about your bread. You more you was just more about your bread, just like you said doing that in the first place where you seem not to be selling drugs. You didn't want the problems, so it's more like a snatch and grab type of thing for you, right?
Yeah, yeah,
All right,
yeah. But
all
see,
right.
um, with the low lives and the Ralphie kids, what made us kind of unique because I wouldn't call it smash and grab, but we went inside of the stores and didn't just there were incidents and times where we did, but 90% of the time we would go in the stores and conceal this clothing on us. We would wear like waist girdles that we would go on Woolworth and get, like not the panties one, like the women's wear, but they have like ones that you can like put on your waist and snap up to your like your chest. And we would put goose jackets inside of those things and walk out of the store. 10 shirts inside of there with a goose jacket on and walk out of the store. Or we used a lot of book bags. We wore big knapsacks. So we would go in the store and fill the bag up with shirts or whatever and put the bag on and walk out of the store. Um, it wasn't like we was going in the store snatching stuff and just running out the store. Um, Most of the times when we left the stores, the securities and people that worked in the store could not even tell we had merchandise on us. So we were really smooth with this. It was a technique, you know. We would sometimes go in the stores without a book bag and just wear like a goose jacket and wear like a girdle, you know, and put all kinds of shit up in there and walk out the door, you know. But like I said, there were times where we did go in the store and just like if some stores would have like displays right by the door, like little shops, not department stores, but little shops, would have stacks of jeans, right as soon as you come in the door, like designer stuff. We would then just go and grab all 6 or 12 pairs of the pants and take off running out the store. That we would do that at times, but most of the times the stuff was concealed on us on the way coming out the stores.
Okay, that's what's up. At what point for you had to switch that up?
Um, well, I got locked up for shoplifting one time, and I just I got tired of putting my family through that, and I got tired of laying in there around all these grown men telling all these war stories, and it was just like it was corny. I was and not I'm in my early 30s now. I didn't make this decision when I was 20 something. I did this until I was 32, 33 years old, you know? So I was in my early 30s and I was like, I cannot continue to keep doing this because like it's a waste of time, just sitting in here like this. And I was reading magazines, like trying to figure out what I was gonna do when I got out, and when I came home from that last bid I did when I was like 32, I think I was 32 or 33 years old. And I just came home with a different vibe and I was trying to figure out what I was going to do creatively because I used to rap and do all of that. And I was like, I want to do something that's in the field of like creating, like something around that. I wasn't sure what it was. And my aunt that I was living with at the time um was in the house one day watching TV while I was like, I think I was outside somewhere, or I had went to the store, and I came back in the house and she was like, I saw this school on TV. I think you should go to it. And I was like, what kind of school are you talking about? And she was like, it's like a trade school. They got computers and stuff in there. And I was like, what? And she was like, yeah, I wrote down the number. And I was like, oh. I said, what kind of school you talking about? She said, it's like a college. I said, you're gonna have to pay for that, man. I said, that ain't no free school. They're just gonna let me just come in and you know what I mean? I said, you're gonna have to pay for that. And she called them one day, like the next day, she called them. And she was like, the guy said he gonna call back tonight. And I'm like, yo, why you call at that school? I'm like, yo, like them people is gonna make you pay thousands of dollars and you don't got that kind of money. When they tell you how much it is, it's gonna be a waste of time. Why would you even call the dude? So she calls the dude. The dude called, like one of them college recruiter guys. It was like a design school called Catherine Gibbs that was in New York City in Manhattan. And I didn't want to be involved with it. And the dude came to the house and was like showing us pamphlets and all this shit. And I'm like, it was a black dude. And I'm like, he like asked me all these questions. So he telling my aunt, like, yeah, he gonna have to apply for a grant and all. I said, I told you. So, and to make a long story short, they gave me the grant to go to the school. So they let me go. It was like a college. So I went there. And I went there and I
Mm-hmm. No, I'm listening, bro. My fault. Go ahead.
okay. So I went there and I learned like Photoshop, Illustrator, like typography, mostly photography stuff. And they gave us like a little camera to take home and learn. It was like a little Nikon, little bullshit little camera they gave us. And being that I was a rapper, I took the camera to my neighborhood and I started trying to teach myself how to shoot music videos with the shit. So the school don't know I got the camera around the way, like doing little interviews with little rappers in the hood with it. And I graduated from the school eventually, and I then got into the DVD game. I had a DVD called Heroin DVD that was like Smack and the Come Up DVD, where I went around and recorded little rappers in the hood and shot little videos for them. And I taught myself all of this. So I learned it from the school, but the editing part of the videos, I taught myself from watching like YouTube videos and stuff. And I started doing the DVD thing, and I became popular in the neighborhood by doing that. And once I started making money from dudes paying me to get on the DVD, I didn't have to go out and hustle no more. Like, I became so busy just going around recording dudes. I like the hustling thing was out the window now, because I'm like, I want to do this. You know what I mean? So, I put out 5 volumes of Heroin DVD, and then after that, I got into the nightlife stuff.
Right. So so how long, so photography, since you learned that, now you found the way that you feeling it, like you still down with the photography working as of today, right?
Um, yeah. Well, I have my company Sapreme Films that I had since 2011 and 2012. And so I've been doing that 10 years. And photography and videography. So I never went back to hustling. I never had to, because I started to realize that I'm really needed. I mean, I became so popular doing it that it was like, I'm not gonna, put nothing, jeopardize this for nothing else. And then I'm making good. It wasn't the shoplifting money. I'm gonna be clear. It wasn't the street money. It wasn't that. But I knew that if I continue and become better and better at this, then I'll get the money later on. I was satisfied with what I was making, because, it wasn't the street money, but I ain't have to worry about the police or
What
watch my
was
back or that honest money. You know what I mean?
what was the shoplifting money?
Well, it varied. On a good day, I might do $1,000 in change, or 2,000 or something like that. On a bad day, 500, 600. It varied, with that shoplifting thing, because sometimes I would come back to the neighborhood with name brand designer stuff, and no one had money to buy stuff. So you end up having to sell the stuff for cheap, just to get rid of it, because you're going to go back out there tomorrow and do this same thing again anyway. So it really varied, on days when I would get back. Well, I ain't gonna say me and my homeboys. It would vary, you know.
How long you said the whole time though? What about the rapping? How long you was rapping for?
Well, I was rapping for a while. I've been rapping for, wow. I was rapping since 1998. Yeah, I've been rapping since 98, and in about 2002, 2003, I can say after 9/11, um, I really got serious about it. And I was a known person out in Bed-Stuy, with the music. I had put out about 5 mixtapes. I had a manager. I was on DVDs and all of that. Um, so I did music for about, I could say about 5 years, you know, because while I was doing the music, I was still a hustler. So, it was both. I was doing both at the same time.
And you was feeling yourself and feeling your music at a certain point, right?
Yeah, the music was um was dope, man. It's actually still out there. You know what I'm saying? Like as old as it is, they had back then they had a website called Dat Piff that is still a website to this day, and you can still go there and download mixtapes. And if you go there and type in Supreme, you'll see my stuff up there. It's old stuff from like 2008, you know, but it's still there, you know. So I don't have the password to the website, I mean to the account to delete the stuff because I uploaded it, but it's still there, you know. So
Tell them the Diddy situation.
which one?
Anyone that you want to tell them. Well, the CD tosser situation.
Oh well, I
If you
told you
want to, huh?
I went to Catherine Gibbs, the design school. My uncle put me in the design school, and Bad Boy Records was like right up the block from it, right? And I had these two kids. I used to not kids. We was about I was about like 23 or 22. And when I went there, I was like I told this story before. I was the only person in the school that was coming to school wearing like hip hop shit with fitted hats, you know, and leather jackets. Cause I was still shoplifting at the time too. So I was coming to school every day looking like a rapper, and I was rapping too. So I had to look like a rapper. So these two kids in my class, these two dudes, they was like kind of like nerdy dudes. They kind of like clung to me. And every day during the break, we would go walk around Manhattan and like buy food and sit down and talk. And I would have weed and shit because they didn't smoke weed. And they really thought I was cool because on the breaks, I would be smoking weed. They'd be like, yo, man, where you got weed from? Shit like that. And they was cool with me. They thought I was real cool to hang around because I was street smart. So they thought I was real cool to be around. So I used to come to school every day with my CDs. I would bring like a CD or two with me to bring to you know if I wanted to promote my music, I would have my CDs. I would bring like two or three with me every other day. So one day I brought some CDs. Oh, I had them all the time. These two guys knew I rapped too. They had already heard my stuff. That's another reason why they stayed hanging around me. They was like, yo, man, you dope, man. That's you on that CD? And I was like, yeah, yo. They was like, yo, man, you gonna make it, man. You hot. So they stuck to me because I was, you know, they thought I was gonna make it. You know what I mean? So one day, anyway, we was walking on our break to go get food. And we was walking up the block. And like I said, these two guys didn't really know nothing. They didn't know about expensive cars, fashion. They was like nerdy type of dudes. So it was two Rolls Royce Phantoms. They had just came out. We had never seen them shits before. It was a silver one and a black one parked right behind each other. I said, yo, look at them shits. They was like, yo, what kind of cars is those? I said, those is Rolls Royce Phantoms. I had knew all about it because I was into hip hop. So I knew what it was as soon as I saw it. I said, those are the new Rolls Royce Phantoms right there. And soon as I said that to them, I said, yo, I said, Diddy probably in them shits. Because the amount at the time, the Rolls Royce Phantom costed $500,000 when it first came out. Y'all can Google this. When they first came out, they costed 500 bands, and it was two of them. So I said the only person, being that I knew rap and hip hop, I said the only person that would have that kind of money to have two of them shits back to back like that would be somebody like Jay-Z or Puff Daddy. So off the rip, I said, yo, that's probably Diddy in that fucking car. So I was just saying it. I didn't know. I knew Bad Boy was like right around there somewhere, but I wasn't sure if he was in the car or if those was his vehicles. I knew that they were somehow hip hop related cars. They had just came out. Nobody had them. So my homeboy said, yo, you should go take one of your CDs out and put it under the windshield. You never know who car that is. I said, I think that's Diddy car. So we was like having a conversation as we walk into the car, like, yo, that's probably Puff. So When we got close to the car, I could not tell if somebody was sitting in the car because the car had like some kind of special kind of tints on the window to where you would have to be standing at a certain angle to see if someone was sitting in the car. It was like a bluish tint on the front window, and the side windows were totally black. So I couldn't tell if anyone was sitting inside the car. But I told them, I'm guaranteed, y'all, this is probably Puffy's car. So my homeboy said, you should take one of your CDs out and put it under the windshield wiper. So when he come out, he'll see it. He probably gonna put it in the car and listen to it. I said, you know what? You right. Because I was a starving artist. I was trying to get on. I had a little name for myself. I said, you know what? You right. So I took my book bag off. I took out one of the CDs and I walked up to I think the silver one was in the front. So I walked up to the silver one on the passenger side and I bent back the windshield wiper of the car and took my CD and stuck it in there and I walked away. The CD was stuck behind the windshield wiper. It was a little thin square CD case, if y'all remember those, the slim ones. So as I'm walking away from the car with my back turned, I see my two homeboys' facial reactions. And they like, yo, look. So I'm walking to them. I didn't know what they was talking about. So they was like, yo, look, yo. So I turned around and it was a dude with a gray suit. I will never forget it. I had never seen that nigga before in my life. It was a dude with a gray suit on. All I saw was the back of him getting the CD off the windshield wiper. I couldn't tell who it was. I just saw the back of the person's body. So I turned around and looked, and the person grabbed the CD, and when they turned, it was Puff Daddy. I said, oh, shit. He took the CD and flung the shit it was like a disc. You know, it was a flat, square CD. So the shit flew like a Frisbee. He took it out the windshield wiper and flung it all the way across 40th Street. And it slammed and crashed into Staples' office supply store window and broke up. And he didn't even look at me. He just got right back in the car. And I said, yo, what the fuck? They said, yo, that was Puff Daddy, yo. I said, yo.
You was hot, huh?
The car. I walked back over there. My homeboy said, nah, yo, don't go back over there. I said, nah, that nigga just threw my seat. I said, nah, yo.
I know you was tight.
Said, yo. He said, don't go over there, yo. Don't go over there because he got security and all that. I said, yo, man, I was just standing in front of the car looking because the windows were so dark I couldn't see in the car. I was standing directly in front of the vehicle looking in the car like, yo, like, they was like, yo, chill, yo, come on, yo. And I was like, yo, for real, yo? For real? I couldn't even see the nigga in the car. I was like, for real? That's how you doing shit? And I walked across the street to where Staples was at, and I picked up the CD in the two parts of the case, and I came back across the street, and we walked right back past the car and went to a Starbucks we used to always go to. And that was the conversation of the whole day. And they was like, yo, when we got back to school, they told the whole fucking class. They said, yo, fucking Puff Daddy just threw his CD and almost broke Staples' window. Even the teacher was like, yo, are you serious? I was like, yo, yeah, you're just now up the block. They said, yo, why? Even the teacher said, yo, why did he throw this CD? I said, I don't know, man. I said, all I did was put it behind the windshield wiper. And when I turned to walk away, I said, they said someone was getting out the car, grabbing the CD. And when I turned around, it was him. He threw the CD and broke it and got back in the car and just acted as if he didn't even see who put it in there. And yeah, so that was the last time I saw, well, no, actually it wasn't. I saw him again. I didn't mention it because I was actually like not filming him, but I was filming the locks, and he came, and it was years ago. I didn't want to bring it up. He probably would have tried to swing on me or some shit like that.
It would have been worthless. Yeah, it would have.
I said, it's crazy how the tables turn now on the corner, man. You know what I'm saying? Word,
Then
word.
you got it the next time you see him, you can bring it up. It would have been
Yeah,
worth it.
every time I talk about that, I'd be like, um, maybe I could, well, like I said, I didn't know if anyone was in the car. I would have knocked on the window. I was
Yeah,
just
it'd have
doing
been
things
bad. It'd have
starving
been bad.
artists was trying to do.
Right.
That's what starving
It'd have
artists
been
do.
bad. It would have been bad.
If I would have known he was in the car, I would have knocked on the window and said, "Yo, Diddy, man, listen to this." You know what I mean?
Right.
But I
Um.
still, you're bad.
Yeah. Because it would have been bad. The next time you're gonna get him, you're gonna be in a better situation. You said that you dealt with like because of the CD, the DVDs that you was pushing the Heron joints. Um. With with YouTube. So far as YouTube goes, how long did it take? Did you decide to be a content creator? How did this come along?
Um, what do you mean, the real rap show?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, in 2020, when COVID was like just starting out in New York City, um, if you guys can remember that time, it was a real dark time. I don't know how bad it was in Boston, but out here in New York, no people were scared to come outside. All the stores were closed. It was like a ghost town out here in New York when COVID first came out. You know what I mean? Like nobody was outside.
No, it was basically the same.
Yeah, and like I told you guys, I work night. I've been doing my main source of income is filming parties. So when COVID first hit, the fucking nightclubs closed down. So I'm like, damn, like I didn't know it was gonna be as serious as it was, but all the fucking clubs closed down. So I'm like, damn, you know, what am I gonna do? You know what I mean? I gotta do something because it's no way to make no money. No, it wasn't no way to make no money. No way. So I had my YouTube page that was already monetized from years before. So I had a bunch of rap videos and all kind of interviews and stuff that I had did for artists and all kind of magazines on my YouTube page before it was the real rap show. It was youtube.com/Supreme Films, and it was a bunch of hip hop stuff. But there became a time when Google started flagging your videos because of the music that you was using, and I had a lot of interviews with music under it and music videos. So YouTube had blocked the page from getting monetized because I had so many copyright infractions for music videos that I had shot and stuff like that. So I said, you know what? While I was in the house, I said I'm gonna revamp this whole YouTube page. I'm gonna erase all this shit off of here. And when I erased all the stuff off, YouTube gave me back the monetization. So I said, okay, so now I got a fresh, clean slate. I said, what kind of, being that I'm a cameraman, I said, what kind of content could I create in the house and generate income? So I said, So I said, should I do a talk show? Because that podcast was becoming real popular. So I said, should I do a talk show? Because I know mad shit to talk about. I said, yeah, I'm gonna do a talk show. So when I first started the real rap show, um, it was me sitting at like a desk in this very same room, and I was talking about current events, and I would record it with my camera and then try to upload it to YouTube. But I would record it and I would watch it back, and I would go, I don't like that shit. Like I don't like it. I didn't like the way I looked sitting at the desk. I didn't like the desk. I just was like, this doesn't look like a podcast. Like I said, I'm not doing this. So I said, so I started seeing YouTubers doing stuff where they wasn't showing their face. And I said, I said, let me try that. So I said, what am I going to do? So Nipsey Hussle had got killed the year before. So I started I was already following the Nipsey Hussle case about Eric Holder and how did Nipsey really get killed and what was the cause of it, and I got really deep into that. So I one day I sat down and I already had Pro Tools on my MacBook and all of that. So I hooked up the Pro Tools and I just started talking about what I thought really happened with the Nipsey Hussle case, and I was like editing parts out. It was like about, I think it was about 20, I can't recall how long the video is, but it ended up being episode 1 of the Real Rap Show, the real reason Nipsey Hussle was killed. And so I talked about it. I uploaded it. I had put little pictures in the video, and I did 100,000 views the next day. And I said, "What? Yo, the numbers was going up so high in the comments." I said, "Yo, like it was." The video currently right now is at almost 900,000 views. So my first episode, I did almost, I did over 500,000. So when I saw how much money that was allocating in the YouTube studio, I said, "Oh man," I said, "This is can't be for real." I said, "Yo,
Right.
it was about $3,000." And I said, I had never seen it go that high. I said,
Right.
3,000 fucking dollars. Yo, it went all the way to over 12,000. And I made another episode and another one and another one. And on episode 6, I did the real reason King Vaughn was killed. And I did over 1 million views in 3 months. And I got $20,000 from YouTube for that. And I said, I said, I said, after that,
He said, I found it. I
no,
found it. Jackpot.
after that, after they really deposited the money, I said, yo, $22,000 and I never left the fucking house. I said, oh man, no. I said, this is it. I said, this is it. So I started becoming more into being a podcaster. And that's how the Real Rap Show was born. I'm not saying it was born because of I made the money, but when I saw it wasn't the money, but it was the response from the people in the comments that was like, yo, I love the way you broke that story down. I love hearing when you be telling them stories. Yo, do one about Alpo. Do one. People were telling me all kind of, and I'm like, yo, this is it right here. I said, this is the new wave right here. You know what I mean? And here we are, 36 episodes in, man.
Nah, salute to that, shot to that, bro. Because like I said, when I came across you, like you go with it. You know what I mean? Like even last night's show, since I've been hip, just like on C on class. You know what I'm saying? I seen a couple of y'all. That's why I like. You know what I'm saying? And it's funny. Like I said, I got hip to you because of him. You know what I'm saying? I got hip to him obviously because of his show. Y'all some good brothers. I told him the other day, like he's something in that water out there in BK. You know what I'm saying? Just like that Queensbridge. You know what I'm saying, with the rap. You know what I'm saying? It's good to see you. You know what I mean? What I like about you is like what you just said is just no front. Just like what you said about like what I'm doing now. Like seeing when you brought that, it's like what you saying is good. I just right now I know because I don't want to give out the bad visual. I got the, you know what I'm saying, just got the computer with no backdrop. So I'd still rather it be like this than have that a poor had that poor camera. But I
Yeah,
get how you explained it because people want to be interested in you, especially somebody like me. I got talent to be funny and body language and stuff. I get what you're talking about, but
yeah,
I'd rather do it like this until it's completely right. You see what I'm saying?
yeah.
But I
But
like a lot of stuff that you be on, bro. I'm still gonna continue with the few minutes that I got. It's so I want to ask you like what you said far as this. What's your goals for the channel though?
what for Real Rap Show?
Yeah, for the real
Well,
rap show.
I just did a deal with iHeartRadio. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, that's what's up.
Yeah, like it's lit. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah,
I tell people on my show all the time. I know a lot of celebrities, man. From my history and working around big people. And a lot of people are watching YouTube now. I said YouTube is like the new news. Everybody, all the current events, you hear about it on YouTube before the news hears it. And a lot of people watch you, because they
Right.
know the nightlife and being a cameraman. And people like, I didn't know you had a podcast. It was like,
Right.
this is dope that you're doing. So, I know someone that reached out to me.
Let me shoot this at you then, Preem, because I kind of get, because I kind of know. I would rather say, let me throw at you what this entrepreneurship mean to you, because I kind of get it. You 5'2", you got a lot of things going on. So what does entrepreneurship mean to you?
Entrepreneurship. I would say it means, owning up to what you want to be, man. And standing your ground with that, man. Entrepreneurship is a big word, because a lot of people call themselves that. And that comes with a lot, Um, I could just say, yo, it's all about you being firm and standing firm and on whatever you're trying to do. You know what I mean? It's a lot building a brand out here nowadays, especially when no one wants to support you. So it's rough when you're doing it by yourself and when you don't got a real good support system. You know what I'm saying?
True. How you feel about cousins to the same thing in a way? How do you feel about joint ventures, allies, and building foundation?
Joint ventures.
Well, kind of like what we doing now. I see like networking with people. What I'm saying, especially like this, YouTube is allies because YouTube got this certain things that you see going on with the beefing part. Is because people be dealing with people because people be trying to have friends, but you have to watch that. But you do want to be connected with, just like the rap game. Like I tell people, it was the crack game, the rap game. Now it's YouTube. So you do want to be aligned with certain people, not by force, but you do want to, rub shoulders. It's the same stuff in certain ways. You don't have to, but you know what I'm saying. If you're conducting yourself around, you want to be around the right people, just like anything else, like-minded people at least. You don't want to fake it, but you probably want to be aligned with the same similar type of people. You don't have to be.
Yeah, no, you don't. But like even with my show, like I be telling my viewers when I be on there, like, um, my show is not based on having people chime in and do videos with me. I don't like to do that. You know what I'm saying? I don't I don't I don't want to feel like I can't control the floor by myself. You know what I mean? So like when other people tell me, yo, I want to interview you, I always do it. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't be caring who it is. I'm like, yo, let's do it. You know what I'm saying? But on my show, like I had one person on before and I didn't like it. You know what I mean? So, but as far as like the allies thing, um, um, I don't really have none of those on YouTube either. You know what I mean? I just really focus on my show. I do throw darts, you know, because some of the stuff that these YouTubers be doing to gain a crowd to me is fronting. And I be having to just catch myself sometimes from actually starting a situation with these dudes, and I came close to doing it with another YouTuber that be on here. You know what I mean? And he called himself addressing me one night. And I just said, you know what? I'm not gonna address the dude no more because I just felt like a lot of dudes are using this platform for just the money and they not really being artistic with what they doing. You know what I mean? Like when you constantly come on here and make shows about the same people every night. You know what I mean? It's more stuff to talk about.
Fact, fact,
You know what I
bro.
mean?
I
So
can,
I
I
don't really
can.
like to be on every night like that unless I got something um because my people want me to come on here every night. But I'm like, yo, if I don't have a good topic to talk about with y'all, I'm not gonna come on here just because I know I got my channel monetized and I could get 300-400 people in the lobby with me and we could just start talking about anything. Nah, man. Like I don't.
100.
I do it when it's
My
necessary.
friends, I don't got nowhere near you, but somebody in the chat already know. I just told them that before I came up here with you. I tell people that all the time. I don't got nowhere near the subscribers to you. I tell people all the time that. That's why I ain't been up here lately. I can't just do that. I can't just pick up this microphone because I got a channel and just go rambling off anything just to do it. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? That's
yeah.
just
It doesn't feel authentic when you're doing it that way.
so, bro. I feel you 100 on that because that's why I was gonna say what you just said when, like, defending yourself, or I could feel where you come from because, like I said, since I've known you, I mean, through this, I've been with you like a lot of stuff because you gonna feel a certain way that you gonna want to attack people because, like you said, it's just something about like just being real to it. Some stuff don't be none of our business, but you hear certain people every day on the same nonsense. Like, come on, how long are you gonna beat that horse? Like, stop
Yeah,
it. Like,
yeah, yeah,
you know what I
yeah.
mean? Like,
It
it's
just
just so.
makes me kind of tight. That's why I say, you know what? I'm gonna just stop talking about these dudes and just stay focused on my own little show before it get ugly. We don't do that. So
Right. So, bro, let them know where you can be found. That you gave me the hour, and I mean, I had a few more things, but it's just we did enough. I wanted people, what I'm saying, my peoples, and most of my people are genuine people. Majority of the people that's up here, that's my
that's what's
people, is
up.
gonna sub to you. There's a
That's
few
what's
people that
up.
already know you.
You know that.
So just let everybody know where they can meet you at, and then that'll be it, bro. Thank you for doing this for me, bro. Like I said, you know me all in the wall. Like you said, did this for me,
Yeah, man.
and I appreciate it.
Before I even get into that, let me say this, man. I like your show. I like you. You sound like a dope down to earth brother. Whenever you want to have me on your show, man, you're always welcome. You know what I mean? Whenever, if it's another time you want to sit down and you want to chop it up, get into some more other things, send me the link, man. You know what I mean? Like I told you before, I'm not one of these big headed dudes that's like, yo, he ain't got a lot of subscribers. Where you go? If you notice, I never asked you what you gonna ask me or nothing like that. You know what I mean? When you said hit the link, I just pulled up. You know what I mean? So I don't really care about all of that, man. It's all about good conversation with me and giving the people something that they can learn from. You know what I mean? It ain't got to be 1,000 people in here or 500 people. As long as we can motivate somebody in here, that's what I'm about. So whenever you want to have me on here, man, you know what I'm saying, the door is always open. And for my contact, y'all can follow me on Instagram at Sapreme Films. I spell Supreme with an A instead of a U. SAPREMEFILMS is the Instagram for my business for all my videos and stuff. If and the podcast the podcast Instagram is it's the real rap show, straight out ITSTHEREALRAPSHOW, man.
All right, bro. Once again, thank you for keeping it 100, and it was 100. And everybody in the crowd, thank y'all for coming and making history. And that's a wrap, y'all. Supreme 100, Supreme Films. Y'all go check them out. And it's a wrap, y'all. Got to get it right,
Y'all,
baby. 100. We out.
see this.
Peace.